Hello, my little maggots. My name is Rot, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, then hi, hello, nice to have you. But if you're a frequent viewer or a subscriber of mine, then that intro probably has you a bit shook. Don't worry, I'm going to explain in just a minute. However, before we get into all of that, I just want to let everyone know that, hey, I'm sorry, I know that I mentioned doing the Does Problematic Content Equal Endorsement video next, but I feel that I'll have to push that one back just a bit due to the importance of this one and what it means to me and to my channel and my brand. But don't worry, I'll still be doing it, I just can't be quite sure when that will be. Just keep a close eye on my community tab if you want to vote in polls for what videos will come next. So, if you're a fan of my channel or just a frequent stalker of my socials, then you probably noticed that my socials have changed, including this YouTube channel. My persona has changed, my aesthetic has changed, my intro has changed, and most importantly, my name has changed. And now, though I don't expect to get this reaction or anything, before you grab your pitchforks and your beating sticks and demand to know where Syzygy is and what I've done with them, the short answer is that they're dead. In Minecraft, of course. Okay, let me back up for a second. After I made my last video, I've been doing a lot of thinking about where I want to go with my art. You see, very shortly after my first mild persona design change and rebrand last year, I've been feeling very, well, unsatisfied. Not just with my persona itself, but also the direction of my channel. I've been having a lot of fun making art, but I generally have a lot less fun making videos. This is mostly because I kinda have to put on a character in my videos, the character of Syzygy, and I don't feel all that connected to my gentle, sanitized YouTube persona. This is not to say that I was completely neglecting my own desires and not acting like myself at all, but there was some neglect and discomfort there. So in this video, I want to give all of you a very clear explanation to all of the reasons for my rebrand, because there are many. First of all, let's start with my name. I first chose the name Slumberless Syzygy or SyzygySlumberless when I was 13 in late 2017 or early 2018, somewhere around that time. It's been my username for almost 5.5 years now, and well, it just doesn't suit me, my personality, or my content anymore. First of all, in that line of reasoning, let's discuss the most obvious reason someone would change their name online. It's difficult to spell, read, and is not marketable. Starting with spelling, I've noticed that a lot of subscribers and commenters in the past tend to have a huge problem with spelling my name correctly. I've gotten Synergy, Syzygy, Syz, Sig, and many other weird variants. Granted, a few of these times could very well just be weird nicknames subs were giving me, but because I had not asked to be nicknamed and because it had happened repeatedly for many different people, I think it's safe to say that the main issues arise due to its spelling. This is not helped by the added slumberless either tacked onto the end or onto the beginning of my username, especially because slumberless is a rather long and kind of ugly word and it has never fit my brand much. I'm not an insomniac or anything, I get 8 hours like every night. The word has no application to me or my art. Also, I have a very specific memory of a fan who was dyslexic telling me that my name hurt their brain, and that made me feel a bit bad, so I just think it would be great to change it and have it become easier to read. So why not just remove the slumberless part, I can hear you asking. Well, because Syzygy is actually a word. Syzygy is a word in astronomy that refers to 3 or more celestial bodies aligning. It is an English word, and considering that there is a band that just goes by Syzygy or something like that, and probably many other people going by that name as well, I couldn't just shave off the slumberless part without it bleeding into the other Syzygys out there. Aside from marketing, there is also the detail that I feel that my username didn't suit my personality or art at all. Sure, it suited my channel up until this point, but it represents a somewhat restrained, sanitized version of myself that doesn't hold up to current day. Besides that, my brand is not about the stars or about astronomy at all, and it fits my current pastel goth style even less than it did back when I first started doing YouTube. The name SyzygySlumberless is too soft and lacks an element of edge and horror that I want to have both in my content and personality here on the channel. Finally, and this is the most personal reason why I need to change the name Syzygy feels too feminine and it makes me feel a bit uncomfortable when people call me that. For those of you who are new to my channel or are else unaware, I am non-binary. I think that the closest term to describing my gender that I know of would be demigirl, but I just don't like the term personally. Especially the girl part because, well, I'm a grown-ass adult and not a girl. Anyways, for those of you who didn't know, my pronouns are they, them, and though I tend to present more feminine and cute physically, I also really don't fancy the idea of being perceived as feminine personality-wise. I have no idea if that makes any sense, but you know, gender is confusing. I have long hated the name Syzygy to the point that none of my friends are allowed to call me that, to the point where nowhere on Discord do I have my username as Syzygy. not even on my main profile. So yeah, the underlying gender ickiness that I feel regarding the name Syzygy is the final main reason why I specifically decided to change the name. Instead of SyzygySlumberless, my name is now Rottika, shortened to Rot. It is the most NB name, and it makes me feel really comfortable and happy. Please use that name when referring to me, and again, my pronouns are they, them. Part 2, we're now going to explore why I decided to change my Sona to an entirely new character, as well as why I decided to overhaul my channel aesthetic. My channel aesthetic includes not just my persona, but also my general vibes, and also my sayings in my videos, such as my intro and outro. So, lately I've been going through a pretty big shift in my life, and I have changed a lot in my beliefs since I first began as a creator. When I first began making videos, I was a 17-year-old cis-girl pagan witch, and, well, all of those things have changed. In a little less than a month, June 21st, I will be turning 19, and I already spoke about my gender no longer being cis. But regarding the pagan witch side of me, that has also changed as well. I've kind of distanced myself from paganism and the craft. I would currently define myself as agnostic, but more on the atheism side rather than the spiritual side. This change and shift happened a long while ago, but it was only recently that I completely moved away from my past beliefs. Just to be clear, no hate nor judgment on literally anyone else, it's just that my perspective has changed since I started. And I don't really think it's all that fair or okay of me anymore to refer to myself or anyone else as my witches when, well, I'm not one anymore. So yes, I am no longer a witch or a spiritual person, and though I still love and accept all of you out there that are, I'm moving away from my past aesthetic. Moving on to the next topic, I decided to change my Sona. Just like with my old name, the next reason would be because my old Sona does not suit me or my channel that well. Though it does look like me to an extent, it lacks a lot of personal details and flares that I have included in my other art featuring myself, and it doesn't really reflect my aesthetics as much as you might think it does on the surface. A big reason, again, comes down to marketing and what I want to present. And well, I feel as though my last Sona was too cutesy, too round, and too bubbly looking to fit my art and my channel. You see, I've been having this ongoing issue for a while now. A lot of kids like my content for some reason, and well, I do not make my content for kids at all. I do not make it with kids in mind either, and, well, I'm not willing to compromise who I am and what I love for the sake of being sanitized and appealing to kids more. Look, my artwork heavily features horrific themes, including but not limited to gore, self-harm, physical and mental maltreatment, toxic, unhealthy, questionable relationships, questionable power dynamics, self-deletion, and many other comparable or otherwise stronger themes. I feel uncomfortable with the idea that my cute persona could essentially entice a kid to look at my art outside of my videos, and then lead to them being upset and getting traumatized by the themes depicted in some of my work. I really don't want that to happen, so I think it would be better to have a persona that accurately reflects what kind of themes are found in my work. The sort of marriage between creepy and upsetting and cute. This is my persona. Their name is Rot. They have a brain centipede and his name is Norbert. They're non-binary and also intersex and have both male and female reproductive organs. They're mentally ill and they're stinky and gross and I love them. If this image of them disturbs you, move along, unsubscribe, don't click that bell, don't follow me on other platforms, and don't interact with me. Keep yourself safe if my art triggers you. Now as for minors in my audience, my content is recommended 15 and up. My artwork outside of YouTube is probably best enjoyed from 16 to 18 and up, depending on whether or not there's excessive gore or sexual themes. Do not engage with my work if you're under 15 at all, please. This is for your safety and mine. Again, keep yourself safe online. I'm sorry, but if age gating my content is what I have to do to make the stuff that I want to make, and also that age gating helps keep younger kids safe, then that's what I'm gonna do. Well, that's just about everything that I wanted to go over, so I hope that this was kind of an interesting video, and I hope you aren't too bummed about the shift in aesthetic. Just note that I won't be changing my content at all outside of just being more myself aesthetically and personality-wise, so don't worry too much about that. With all of that being said, I thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, rate and subscribe if you feel inclined to do so. If you want to see more of my content, not only is it all linked down below in my card, but, you know, I've changed my usernames, so maybe, you know, give them a little check. Give them a little look. So yeah, if you're interested in checking out some of my art, both safe for work and not safe for work if you're 18, follow the links down below in my card. Have a nice rest of your day, and I will now bid you all adieu.